What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's finally address this. Now, what many of you don't realize is that Loni Love, for years, has been a stand up comedian, and we have seen her on the comedy circuit countless times. And her publicist, she got Liz and, her manager and all the people that's representing her now. Um, I've met them, they're pretty cool. No real problems with any of them. And this wasn't about that. I just didn't want to pile on to what everybody else was saying. But Loni Love, you know, she was heckled a lot in clubs and knew how to handle being heckled and battling back with comedy from a stand up perspective, when she did her comedy. And she always had something to say about black men and men in general in her stand up, but black community accepted you. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes when people date outside their race, they make it look like their race is doing something wrong to make them do a certain thing, or we got to be doing something wrong and to justify what they're doing. Like, black men need to be doing this, if they're gonna, this is why most, no, it's not. And it's always something of a negative stigma they put towards us. Nothing positive. We don't share that. Like we invented cheating. Then she tried to tie slavery into it. Like, oh, let's just put slavery into it now. That's not the case. Y'all talking about adultery has happened long before slavery. That one woman, one man thing wasn't the norm everywhere. Still, in certain places, you can have as many wives as you can afford. So, for Loni Love to make an assertion that black men are cheating, and then that's the thing. She says the black community then starts talking about money and power. So, what are you talking about? Rich black men? Is that what you're talking about? Black men with money. Kevin Hart cheated because that's what she basically was talking about. Kevin Hart situation. Kevin Hart cheated due to Kevin Hart situation. That had nothing to do with money, power. It depends on the person. He's a celebrity. He has access. More women are going to want to come after him. If Kevin Hart didn't have the money or the power, you think these women wouldn't have been coming after him. How about that woman went after a married man that she knows is married for a one night stand in a room? For what? All she was going to get out of that was what she got. That's a weakness of Kevin. That don't come from slavery. That don't come from, oh, Kevin Hart just got so much power and that's just the reason why he went. Kevin Hart has had a wife before that wife. And Kevin Hart cheated on that wife. So that's a problem with Kevin Hart, and slavery I doubt had anything to do with that. That's the choice that person made. But here's a stat for you. Okay? Adultery with Caucasians, it's much higher in married couples or relationships because they got a slash there. You can look it up. Adultery within relationships and marriages. Okay? They say out of 100 couples. Out of the 100 couples they've asked, okay, that's all wrong. That's just based on I need a consistent basis. But still, that number is the Caucasians are higher. Why? Because the Caucasians are in more relationships. It's more marriages, right? Blacks, we don't know how to be in relationships, remember? It's because of slavery. Oh, gosh. That's so stupid. There are a lot of black men out here who take care of their children, who raise their families. They don't cheat. It's a lot of them. And there's a lot of Caucasian men, Hispanic men that cheat more than we do. All different nationalities cheating. Period. So what's their excuse? Slavery? No. It's that person's decision. They don't have money and power. They got to go to work in the morning. But you know what? That person is in the same box as everyone else. You dig it? So if that same person's in the box with everybody else, why is people tripping? Hmm? That's what I get out of it. Like, what's the tripping about? I'm sitting here like, why black men had to be singled out? Because Kevin Hart cheated. And I'm not going to put this on her dating a white guy. I'm not going to do that. It's all, the onus is on you. You're a grown woman. You know what you're doing. If you have a problem with black men, period, then that's your problem. That's your psychosis. Don't try to paint that to the rest of the world and put us down to try to make yourself justified for what you're doing, to make yourself feel more okay about what you're doing. You're with somebody who you met online and you in love with him no matter what, and that's it. Y'all happy together. You like him, he likes you, fine, whatever. I don't care. Whoever you decide to be with is who you decide to be with. No one cares who Loni Love goes to bed with. So my thing is, who are you trying to justify this for? Who are you trying to score points with? But just remember, you come from a black man and black woman. That's who you come from. And you disgrace your father and your mother's father and all the other fathers by saying black men don't know how to be faithful in relationships. Now, if you want to say, as black men, we need to learn how to be men. A lot of us are not taught how to be men because our fathers weren't around, and that has something to do with the welfare changing of the systems. But when I was growing up, I came through a strong environment where my grandparents and my mother, they had a family. The father was home, the mother was home. I mean, the dad was home. Pops was come home. They had 7, 8 kids in the family. That's where they come from. So they had a foundation at home. It's the generations after them, my generation, and the generations further down that grew up without the father being in the home. So if they grew up with the father not being there, there's more avenue for distension, more avenues for people to go the wrong way. So, in her estimation, black men just can't get right. We got to change it. I don't see a problem. To be totally honest with you, I just don't see a problem right now. And if I saw one, I would say, hey, we got to correct this. But to be truthfully honest, I just don't see a problem. I see more black men actually wanting to be married now. I see more black men taking care of their children now. These are the things I'm witnessing. These are some of the things that they just don't champion because you watch all these shows. You got more fathers now getting custody of their children because the moms are not doing all right. I'm seeing more black men believing in marriage now and trying to build a foundation. I'm seeing black men who are out here trying to change rather than the ones that they promote and focus on the negativity and show you the black man that's out here wilding. Not everyone's wilding. That's a small margin to the majority. The majority is out here trying to get their lives together. And I commend those brothers for that. Because they know they grew up hard. Now, in every race, even the Caucasians, you got husbands that are out there cheating. I live in an area where there's predominantly more Caucasians than it's 5% black where I live. 5%. And out of all those 5% blacks that's in this neighborhood, the majority of them are families. And they together and the dad is home. Now, whether they cheat or don't cheat, they come home. But I can tell you one thing. I know I've seen more Caucasians out here cheating on their spouse than than many would ever imagine. But they go home. I've seen the wives cheat more than I've ever seen in African Americans. I've seen more drug usage out of the Caucasians than any of the African Americans I've ever seen in my life. More drugs is used with the Caucasians than I've seen out of anybody. But yet, I see us over policed, over incarcerated for things that everyone else is doing. And I'm not saying that because I'm black and someone else is Caucasian. I'm saying it because I actually see that. I've actually seen that. So for me, it's not a far stretch. Like he said, like I told you, it's only 5% African American out here. But yet, I wouldn't go and classify it and say, man, all white people, man, they're bad at relationships. Because then, if you say that, then it sounds like it's ludicrous, right? You know, it just is what it is. I just find that very disrespectful for an African American woman to say that and just narrow it down to just blacks. When the people on the show was trying to let her know, like, hey, you kind of tripping because that's everybody. I've seen it on every level, and they were right. That's not something that's I just just for their culture. That's Hispanic. That is Asian. That is Indian. That is worldwide. Cheating in relationships is a universal thing. It happens. It shouldn't happen, but it happens. But it is on the individual more than it is on anything else. It is on the person. You know right from wrong. I'm not gonna say, man, that person got hooked on drugs because his mom was on drugs, his daddy was on drugs, and slavery. Slavery happened. You don't remember slavery. Slavery had an effect on us. Yes, it kept us disenfranchised. It kept us divided. Of course, we were in a country in which we didn't have anything. We never got reparations, so we never had wealth to establish us as people. They don't want us to be established. Even now, everything we come to and we get and we pass on, what do we have of legacy to pass on, to our families? What do we have that we can pass on to them? That's the biggest question we're going to have to ask ourselves. What are we leaving our kids besides debt? What are we leaving our families for the next generations? Things are bigger than this black men are cheating, but it just shows you the mental of the people that are out there that's supposed to have our best interests in mind. You're on a platform that really doesn't benefit us. But you have African American men that come on this network who's supposed to represent black men. I mean, that's a very disrespectful comment you make. And to not clear that up or justify it, just to me is heartbreaking to hear that. Knowing that you came up in the comedy circuit where black men were there and you've seen black men before, and rather credit them, you discredit them and dishonor them by, man, just being very disrespectful. It's just is what it is, man. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys to death talking about this, but I just wanted to be clear with it on my stance. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. Don't forget, man, to hit the subscribe button. You can go ahead and hit the like button on the video if you like it. You could definitely, yeah, I'm gonna get probably uncut on this thing on the Patreon, but I'll do it that way when I'll deal with that when it comes. When I talk about it on Patreon, yeah, I could let loose a little bit more, but obviously, I wasn't, I wasn't trying to go all in. I kind of want people to be able to play this and hear it clearly. So I'm out. Thanks for the love and support, and definitely hit up the Cash App. Carcino's the name on the Cash App too. And because of that Cash App donations, these videos popping out.